Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving along, and by that music, wait a minute, there's John Howard tripping on his way into the ring. He must have still had visions of Hollywood and Paige running through his mind from earlier tonight. But as I was saying, before John Howard went on his little trip, it's time for a three-way dance for your IWA Mid-South Heavyweight Championship. And coming to the ring, he is Cash Flow, a man who came 3 seconds from extending the champion Chris Hero to a 60-minute time limit draw just a couple of weeks ago. And I've been told by Ian Rotten that that matchup will be available on an upcoming Best of IWA video. But it's going to be Cash Flow taking on Ian Rotten and Chris Hero in a three-way dance for your IWA Mid-South Heavyweight Championship in what should be a tremendously stiff, tremendous wrestling matchup between these three men. You're going to see high flying. You're going to see scientific. You're going to see stiff Japanese style. And this is a matchup I've been looking forward to since I heard it was going to happen on Thanksgiving night. And here you can hear the crowd applauding, knowing that Ian Rotten is on his way to the ring. Both Cash Flow and Ian Rotten, former IWA Mid-South Heavyweight Champions. Chris Hero, currently your heavyweight champion. Hey, wait a minute. Hollywood and Paige are leading Ian Rotten to the ring. Bouncing along. Joined in commentary by the creative genius of wrestling and Britney Spears' boyfriend, Paul E. Smooth.
Well, first of all, Jim, I'd like to thank you very much for having me here to join you at the commentating booth.
It's a pleasure to have you here, Paul E. It was you earlier tonight getting that money stapled to your ass. Does Britney approve of those kind of actions?
You know what, to be honest with Jim, I haven't talked to Britney much lately.
Yeah, I heard that the little rat's been running around with some boy band member, but don't worry, I'm sure you'll win her back because a man as studly as you can have any woman that he wants. The question is do you still want Britney?
I don't know, I've had my eyes on a few of the rats around this building, and while some of them, may have questionable diseases.
Some?
Okay,
I think you're referring to like a couple of the rows over there in the bleachers. But anyway,
well, Jimbo,
that music starting up right now means that your heavyweight champion, Chris Hero, is coming to the ring. And since Dave Prazak's not here to do commentary tonight, I can't manage Chris Hero, but that's just fine because Chris Hero really doesn't need my help.
I have battled with Chris Hero on many occasions. I used to battle with Chris Hero in Indianapolis and those shitty feds Ian was mentioning earlier, and he's more than capable of handling himself. I really don't think he needs an advisor. While it's added benefit to being at the ringside with him, I really don't think he needs an advisor at this point in his career.
That's correct. I've managed Ian Rotten, I've managed Chris Hero, I've never managed Cash Flow yet, but all three of these men have just as good a chance as the other of leaving this matchup your heavyweight champion. All three men either are current or formerly your heavyweight champion.
Definitely. And listen to the loud eruption that Chris Hero gets here.
Well, it was Chris Hero. He was one of the more hated members of the superheroes here in the IWA.
Definitely. Committing many heinous acts.
But the night that he dove in front of that fireball to protect Patty, to show what a true superhero is really like. The kind of standards that a role model should strive to set.
Definitely a complete act of bravery.
You know, I heard Bret Hart say it many a time that he took being a role model seriously, because when you're in a role in which kids come to the show and look up to you, you're their role model whether you like it or not.
True. But let me tell you something. While Bret Hart might say that on television, he may not carry that out in his everyday life. But when Chris Hero says it, he goes out there and does it day to day, into the ring, out of the ring.
Exactly. Chris Hero turning into a model citizen, always helping out those that need help, always taking the time to sign an autograph of his fans.
Definitely.
Fan gives him a Hawaiian shirt and a leg. He gladly accepts
Look at the
it.
eruption he gets from the crowd. They love him.
Trying to tape up rips in the canvas, but it's so wet from that bubble bath match that duct tape
And
is
what
not
a
sticking.
bubble bath match.
Oh, that was one of the three greatest moments in IWA history.
Let's see what the Cash Flow has to
I
say.
said where we would be. I said we would be in the middle of this ring, going for what I feel is rightfully mine, the heavyweight title.
Words of wisdom from Cash Flow.
Definitely master of vocabulary knowledge.
And that the belt should actually be his, which, well, this is his company, so it really is his anyway, right?
Cash Flow with some logic.
He speaks the truth.
Ever thought you'd resort to bringing titties out here to try to win a match?
True there, true there.
As the old adage is, win by any means necessary, Paulie.
Agreed.
And me and Chris are trading punches. These sweet asses, I tell you what, I might have to leave.
They traded punches for 59 minutes and 57 seconds just a couple of weeks ago,
You know what? I was
Paulie.
not there for that one. But when I heard about that, I was amazed.
It's a little rough. Don't get me wrong, fellas. It's a little rough, but I tell you,
He's going first! He's going
I tell you what, they can chant Chris's name, but Chris has what I want. So I'm not going to the bathroom. I'm going to meet Chris Hero right here in the middle of the ring, and I'm going to take what is rightfully mine. The IWA Heavyweight title.
A strong promise from Cash Flow. We'll see if he's able to deliver.
You know, I love you to death, but you ain't the smartest person in the world. I can think of a lot of other things to distract you besides titties. You know,
Titties that big?
Cash Flow thinks that Pearl Harbor was bombed in 1492, Paulie Smooth. So Ian Rotten is correct in saying that he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether at the end of this night my hand's raised. It doesn't matter whether Cash Flow's hand's raised or your hand's raised, because all of us are here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to give the fans the best show we possibly can.
Applause is definitely deserved for that, because Ian Rotten's promotion has always been a fan-friendly promotion.
That it has. I started out in the front row.
For future reference, you've had a great title reign. Too bad it's over tonight.
I started in the front row. Your referee, Brett Blades, started in the front row. Richard X was in the front
I
row.
ordered videos from that piece of shit company, RF Video. Have you ever heard of them?
I think I still got a tape coming in the mail.
Yeah, mine took me about 8 months and rather shitty quality, but that's besides the point.
You know, back in the day, we were drawing 400 people a week in the IWA. Now 5, 6, 7, 8 of those that were in the Kmart building now work for the company. Ian Rotten knows his fans' name. He knows them by face. He can call them up on the phone and talk with them. You don't get that kind of fan interaction in any other wrestling organization around this country.
No, you don't.
But the IWA knows that their fans are the most important things, because without them coming out and buying wrestling tickets, we
We'd all be out of a
wouldn't
job.
be here.
Agreed.
Here's your IWA World Heavyweight Champion, Chris Hero.
I'm going going to do my best to be impartial. Of course, I manage Chris Hero, but I like all three of these gentlemen. I'm going to call it right down the middle. I hope that you can help me out.
Oh, I'm right in the same boat.
We need a bell rung, and this matchup's underway.
I've been in the ring with all three of these men at one point or another. And I worked with Chris Hero at least 3 years ago, and he's improved leaps and bounds since the first time me and him met.
Well, since you've been in the ring with all three, Cash Flow and Ian Rotten, they're known for their chops, Paulie Smooth. Which one chops harder?
I don't know. I can honestly say, I don't know. I don't want to piss anybody off, so I'll take a no comment on that.
No comment. Rock, paper, scissors determines who starts this matchup, and it looks like it's going to be Chris Hero versus Cash Flow.
We'll come to the conclusion of who has the harder chops by the expression on young Chris Hero's face. After the various chops I'm sure he'll receive.
Yes, you know, you're going to see some chops in this match. You're going to see some Dory Funk uppercuts, of which Ian Rotten throws a deadly version.
Yes.
Chris Hero, trained by Dory Funk, he can throw them with the best of them.
Yes, he has.
Cash Flow, I don't know if I've ever seen him throw one, but he'll chop you right back after receiving them.
He will chop the shit out.
You're gonna see moves in this match that'll knock your teeth out and make you feel an intense amount of pain, rolling hard. Do you have anything to add to this matchup while you're standing here?
Wait to see who wins, Jim. Our next on my agenda.
Rolling hard,
Rolling
watching
hard with
this
a big
matchup.
victory the last match over former champion Rugby Thug. He's definitely within title contention.
You know, that matchup was a contenders match, so Rolling Hard is now a number one contender, so he's in line for a title shot.
So he definitely needs to be scouting
He's up
this
here
match.
with a bird's eye view watching this matchup. And right now,
I would say something, one of the hardest hitting matches I've ever seen. People put over Japan-style wrestling as being stiff. I remember in the back watching on the monitor Cash Flow defeat Ian Rotten for the IWA heavyweight title in one of the most brutal matches I've ever seen.
that was definitely a night. Just the sheer emotion in Cash Flow's face when he realized that he had attained his dream of becoming heavyweight champion. He had worked so long and hard for it. Cash Flow worked long and hard to become champion. And the tears in his eyes the night he won was just an emotional night here in the building.
How much IWA means to the workers here.
Exactly. While I was babbling on there, you missed a vicious crossface from Ian Rotten. Again, symbolizing what we were talking about earlier. And the fact that you're going to see some things that'll make you think.
What a nice roll-up there by Ian.
The La Magistral roll-up.
I think Chris Hero's making a mistake. I think he should be in there on top of both of them.
Yes, Chris Hero is taking a big chance by sitting out on the ring apron. His title can change hands without him being pinned. I wouldn't expect Chris Hero to sit there and watch a pinfall attempt occur without getting in the ring to try to break up that pinfall. You know, his strategy may be go ahead and let these two beat the hell out of each other with the uppercuts and the chops. Wear each other down, and then they're easy prey for when he gets in the ring.
Yes, because Chris Hero has a vast array of finishing maneuvers that he can put you away with in a second.
Yes, it's been said that Chris Hero's an innovator of offense. Comes up with he's got at least 10 different variations of the spinning rock bottom. And if he connects on any of them tonight, it's just 3 seconds away from a Hero's welcome and the pinfall and the title belt staying around the waist of Chris Hero. But here, Cash Flow went for what appeared to be a kick on Ian Rotten when he was down on the mat, but Ian Rotten was able to catch the foot and do a trip.
And what a smart move on Ian Rotten's part of the group, but not when you're wrestling Cash Flow, because he'll come out right after you.
You know, everyone wants to talk about how Ian Rotten can't wrestle. He doesn't have psychology. All he knows how to do is swing chairs and bleed.
That is pure ignorance.
It's pure ignorance. It shows that the fans have never watched these videotapes that speak like that.
Exactly.
This man was an amateur wrestler in high school, growing up in Baltimore, Maryland. He was in the top 5 constantly in the rankings statewide in heavyweight wrestling. He went to Dan Gable's wrestling camps in Iowa and at the Naval Academy. The man knows how to wrestle. He trained almost all these guys you see in the IWA. And if he can't wrestle, how's he going to be able to teach the Suicide Kids, the Rolling Hards, and everybody else how to wrestle? So while people see him in this matchup and they may think it's going to get hardcore with Cash Flow and Ian Rotten in the ring, Either one of them can wrestle hold for hold, move for move with Chris Hero.
Exchanging some vicious headbutts.
Now, you have a three-way test of strength combined with headbutts.
I think Ian might be opening up from those cash flow headbutts.
Oh, both men are, everybody's headbutting each other. It was just a couple of weeks ago that Ian Rotten wrestled Chris Hero, and they delivered headbutts back and forth.
People do not understand the effectiveness of the headbutts.
For 2 days after that matchup, the scar tissue, the scars that you see on Ian Rotten's forehead, you can see them imprinted on the forehead of Chris Hero. They were headbutting so hard that it left the imprints.
Jeez.
It was like taking silly putty and putting it on a newspaper. You could see exactly right on Chris Hero's forehead.
Oh my
and
God.
yes, Ian Rotten indeed is
Just
busted open from those headbutts.
Cash Flow feeling the effects of his own headbutt there.
It wouldn't surprise me if Cash Flow and Chris Hero have some blood flow after these headbutts. Cash Flow. Yeah, Cash Flow.
From the chops.
There's the chops. He was headbutting and knocking himself woozy. After about 8 of them, he finally said, fuck that, and went to the chop.
Is it
But look at
possible that
Cash
Ian
Flow
has
right
a little
back to the
Samoan in him?
I've never seen him with a Samoan, so I'm not sure if he's ever had Samoan in him.
Oh my God, the forearm of Chris Hero. Oh my God, did you hear that chop, Jim?
You can always hear the chops when they come out in the IWA.
Look at that forearm
There's the
shot.
Dory Funk forearm.
Ian's waiting in the wings. He's got something planned here.
There's the double X handle to the back to break this up. This is for the IWA Mid-South Heavyweight title. Nobody's going to sit there and just let you have the pinfall cover on your opponent. You're not only going to have to beat down one guy long enough to hold him down for the 3 count to pin his shoulders to the mat, you also have to do something to the third man to make him out of commission for long enough for you to get that cover.
Definitely.
Ian Rotten is backed into the corner, several shoulder blocks by Chris Hero, but Hero brought directly to his knees by a Dory Funk European uppercut. And these
might
guys
be bleeding over there in the corner as well. He too may have.
Oh, there's another one.
I think
and
I saw
Chris Hero
it
could be
fly
out.
there.
Chris Hero could be out.
And Cash breaks it up with a kick to the ribs.
Ian Rotten once knocked Mark Wolf stupid with a succession of European uppercuts. Of course, there wasn't a long trip for Mark to go on to get there, but still.
Oh my God.
Listen to the contact on that punch.
Cash Flow is a pretty big man, and that must have been a mighty
Cash
hard
is a
punch to knock
huge
him down.
individual these days. He's been working out in the gym, putting on pounds.
Here we go.
Muscle. At one time, Cash Flow was in the light heavyweight division, which you are very familiar with.
Yes.
Meaning he was under 220 pounds. Now he's up in the 250 range
For a big
after
man.
hitting the weights.
I have seen him do 450 shooting star presses to go for the pin. Ian breaks it up.
Back when Cash Flow first started, he did a flip elbow, and he's the only man I've ever seen employ the flip elbow into a match, and it made him an instant fan favorite because the fans
Here we
had
go,
never seen
Jim.
him.
Oh my God.
And here we are with the vicious. They're trading the chops.
There we go. Oh
You
my
could
God.
not pay me enough money, Paulie Smooth, to get down there and be
Oh my God.
and be there for one of these.
I've been there, Jim. It's not too fun.
One chop, I'd call timeout, go to my car, and leave.
Oh, and those are not
There's
too fun
the-
either.
Oh,
overhand
the Brian
chop.
Pillman overhand slap chop
Those are the
with
worst.
an uppercut.
I don't know what we got coming here.
Oh,
A sit-down blockbuster type maneuver. Beautifully done by Ian Rotten.
that was shades of the Shane Douglas reverse neck twist.
Definitely.
The only difference was Cash Flow was sitting up instead of laying on his stomach, but the effect of the move is the same.
Well, with the size
Cash
behind Ian
Flow,
Rotten, I would say his is much more effective.
Cash Flow may be ineffective the rest of this matchup because he may not even be able to turn his head after that maneuver.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's suffering from the effects of Chris Hero taking advantage.
Yes, Chris Hero now with
Here
the
comes his
advantage.
chops.
There's the chop in the corner. This match has deteriorated into, I guess you'd say, Texas Tornado rules. At one point, Holy Smooth, there was a man that would be on the apron, and you were going with a tag formula. For the last several minutes, all three men have been in the ring, and Cash Flow just got splashed from behind by Ian Rodden
into the turnbuckle.
If I'm not mistaken, that might be his Thanksgiving dinner from 2 days ago over there on the floor.
Perhaps. Possibly some broken ribs there.
Broken rib. Oh, there's the thumb to the eye. And a three-quarter.
Injured neck there. Smart thinking on Ian Rodden.
That will make you just want to. Oh,
Chris Hero getting in there as well. Smart thinking on his part.
It's a 3/4, 3/4 chancery here.
Chris Hero is definitely a thinking man's
This will
wrestler.
wrench on your neck. It'll reduce the blood flow to your brain. That oxygen going to your brain, you can fall asleep here. You can be put out, knocked unconscious from a hold like this.
Definitely.
And the thing about a move like this is the more you fight it, the worse it is.
Definitely. Oh my God.
A double snap mare. And Chris Hero goes for a double pin, but they double body press him right off.
Gallant effort by Hero, but I think he needs to work these two men down just a little more. Got a modified abdominal stretch here.
You know, Cash Flow slapped on that abdominal stretch while Hero was still on the mat. Now what is Ian Rodden doing? Ian
has them both down.
He almost pinned both men. You don't see a pinning combination like that too often in a three-way dance.
No, you don't.
These men showing they'll pull out all the stops when the IWA title is on the line. Chris Hero with the baseball slide drop kick to the head. Ian Rodden's down, and while he's down on the canvas, Cash Flow is chopping Chris Hero.
And he follows it up with
back with the forearm. So far, this match has been everything we thought it would, and then some. They're laying the heavy leather in this matchup.
I think the best.
There's a vertical suplex. Yeah, they haven't even begun to scratch the surface here.
We're about what, like 8 minutes into this, and Chris Hero and
The
Cash Flow.
timekeeper hasn't been keeping track of the time, so I'm not sure how much time has expired. But
What do we got there? Oh my God, that looks painful.
that looks like he's got him in a chicken wing, but he bridged backwards with it, adding even more pressure onto the
I don't
chicken
think he's
wing.
going to get Cash to give up there. I do not think.
Now Cash Flow's not one to say the words "I quit."
And here's Chris Hero
Now he's
taking
in
full advantage.
he's in a single leg Boston Crab.
he makes
He's in
it
a
out of
chicken wing.
He's fighting and he's
like Cash Flow was shaking his leg. Either he was a dog getting done with taking a piss, or he was trying to tap with that leg. But
Cash
either
Flow
way,
behind him now.
they let go of the submission hold.
Way up, here comes the
Hero's been shit canned to the floor,
jabs.
and Ian jabbing away at Cash Flow. All those hitting right to the butt of the jaw.
Shades of Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes bionic elbow, baby. And Cash Flow is down.
Smart part on Chris Hero outside trying to recuperate, but he better make sure that Ian does not go for a pin on Cash.
Yeah, it's smart that he's catching his breath on the floor, but when I just looked down there, he was looking up towards us.
Hope he heard us.
There's the Dusty Rhodes elbow drop. Ian Rodden, a very huge Dusty Rhodes fan. Even to the point of telling Harley Race that Dusty Rhodes was his favorite wrestler and being chased with a cattle prod by Harley Race.
Ouch, I would not want to tell Harley Race that.
Yo.
Beautiful jabs by Chris Hero. Oh, fouls up
Oh,
the
we got
backhand.
Tracy Smothers back fist. And the Arriba, the 5-arm, the move made famous by Tito Santana and Terry Taylor, almost got the 3 count, almost allowed Chris Hero to retain his title. Now he's down in the front face lock. Ian Rotten's got him by the leg.
He needs to watch his back on moves like that. When you're in a three-way like this, you want to keep your eyes on both of your opponents at the same time.
Yeah, you can't go down to the mat and turn your back to your opponent, especially when that opponent is Ian Rotten.
A veteran.
Because when you're drug out to that floor,
who knows what can happen. I've been on the floor with Ian Rotten several times, and it has never been a good situation.
I can't really see from this angle. I see Heroes down on the ground. He's being picked up by Ian Rotten. Allow me to look over here on the makeshift monitor, which is very smartest. Got to congratulate Smart Mark 1. They don't bring me the monitor I ask for every week. But
they do a hell of a job. A lot better than them RF video guys.
They do a hell of a job.
DDT on it. Oh, jeez.
There's
he
Chris
may be out of it.
Hero,
That might be it for
onto
Chris
the ring
Hero.
steps. And
he's getting up.
The heavyweight championship is in jeopardy here. It's about to change hands.
Cash Flow needs to get Chris Hero back in the ring and go for the pin right now.
That would be the smart thing, but Chris Hero's a big man to get back in the ring.
True.
And there, Chris Hero just went head first into those ring steps. That, along with the headbutts, he may come up with some blood.
There we go. Oh, now Cash is face.
Now Cash went face first into those ring steps, and that's those ring steps are 60 pounds of wood, Paulie Smooth. I have to move them every show. 65 pounds.
Ring crew just
according
corrected
to
you with
SFK.
65.
I'll go with 65 pounds. They're heavy as hell, and when you're thrown face first, full force into it, there's no give there. Oh my God, that was one hell of a European uppercut there. The crowd sitting on
double
it.
noggin knocker. Oh, and there we go.
The crowd's watching on in stunned silence. Is half the effect of these matches is just hearing the impact. The thuds can be heard all the way upstairs here.
Cash can throw him back with the best of them, though.
You know, it'd be interesting to know just for sure how long this matchup's been going on. I know it's nowhere near the 60-minute time limit. We haven't gone that far. But these men have definitely been going for a while here, and sooner or later, fatigue.
Snapmare onto the floor. What's he going for here?
Sooner or later, fatigue's going to play a role. Cash Flow taken down on the floor, getting the ring.
See somewhat of a Sullivan stomp.
Hero puts the ring steps on top of him and then stands on him with Hero's weight and the weight of the steps. That's like 300 pounds that was standing on top of Cash Flow.
That has to be painful.
Look at how dirty Cash Flow is after being on that floor. Now he's rubbing his back on the canvas, and all that does is get thumbtacks and glass into your back.
Oh, there we go.
Beautiful. Hard way suplex by Ian Rotten. A waist lock with a half Nelson into a German suplex.
Now would be a good time for somebody to go for a pin on Hero.
Here comes
back. Oh my
German
God, he
suplex
folded
by
him.
Ian Rotten. Folded him like an accordion.
It'd be wise for Ian to go for a pin here.
I thought he was going to go for a pin.
Here he
He's got
goes.
both men down.
And
Only
Hero
the
breaks
2
it
count
up.
before Hero breaks it up.
Hero is really at one of the disadvantage here. He has to compete against 2 men to retain his title.
That's right. He's got to worry about 2 men, where the other ones only have to worry about getting pinned. Hero's got to worry about him getting pinned or one of the other competitors. Champion's definitely at a disadvantage in a matchup like this.
Just the fact that Hero signed up for this match alone proves the guts he has and just the pride he has in
He's a
himself and
fighting
the IWA.
champion. He'll defend that title against anyone at any time. He lets his friends have a shot. He'll let his enemies have a shot. He doesn't care. He just wants to be a fighting champion. And tonight, he's fighting for his life.
Tell you what, Chris Hero proved a lot last Thanksgiving when he defeated Tracy Smothers, who's one of probably the most underrated wrestlers in the world today.
Indeed he is. But Cash Flow now in control. Cash Flow's got Chris Hero down in the corner, stomping him in the midsection. Ian Rotten's down in the corner on the other side of the ring.
He should have focused on Chris Hero right there and tried to put him away right there while Ian seems to be...
You can't allow Ian Rotten to recover. You got to keep an eye on him, and the best way to keep an eye on him is to be beating on him.
Chris Hero's trying to work himself up there in the corner, trying to catch his breath. Doesn't have long, though. Oh, my God, what a
There's
smash.
the big splash in the corner. Hero's down.
There we go.
He's calling for the
shades of
Terry Funk spinning toe hold.
Hero trying to no effect.
Trying to beat Hero with the move of Hero's trainer, Dory Funk Jr. Now it's Hero being put in a double submission.
Now, what would have happened if Hero were to submit here?
That's an interesting question. We had this problem one other time when the Rugby Thug lost to Hito and Chip Fairway in a three-way. He was in a double submission hold and tapped out. The ref asked him which move he tapped out to declare a winner. He refused to give an answer, so the match continued between Hito and Chip Fairway. Maybe that is what would happen in a situation like this, unless the wrestler admitted to what hold caused him to tap out.
And I think Chris Hero, being the more upstanding citizen of the Rugby Thug, I think he'd have the guts to admit to which move it was he tapped out.
Exactly. Chris Hero would never have a problem with being beaten for his title by a better man, one-on-one, fair and square, so he would freely admit to it.
Merging the ankle of Ian Rotten. Fujiwara armbar.
We got an armbar, we got a leg lock. You know, the men here are employing a brilliant strategy.
Definitely.
Double submissions, wear your opponents down.
But you cannot trust that other opponent.
Yeah, don't trust the other opponent because he just assumes slap it on you.
That's definitely a mistake made most often in three ways. You put your trust in someone, next thing you know, they're jumping you from behind.
There is no trust. There are no friends
Not when the
the title's on the line.
Because that's where the money's at, that's where the big payday's at, that's where the fame's
That's
at.
where the prestige is at.
That's where the rats are at. They want the guy with the belt.
Well, I need to become champion, Paulie Smooth.
You and me both, buddy.
Maybe I can
Vicious
talk
forearms.
Nikki into a push.
Let's go for it.
Chris Hero has Cash Flow reeling.
Oh, and both of them to
Suicide
the floor.
clothesline, both men to the floor. Ian Rotten's on the floor on the other side of the ring.
You notice there are no pads on that floor.
Yes, there's no blue mats here. There's no black mats. We just have hard concrete to fall on.
More than likely, you're going to be falling on some glass as well.
Yeah, there's glass out there on the floor. There's thumbtacks. Lord only knows what you'll find out there on that floor. But thank God Corporal Robinson saw it in his heart to mop it tonight.
What a fine individual Corporal is.
Of course, the floor's a little slippery and wet right now because of it, but hey, it's a little bit cleaner.
Chris Hero just delivered a vicious boot to the gut of Cash Flow.
See, when they go behind the partition here, I can't even see what's going on.
Cash Flow's
Paulie,
trying to collect his
you're a little
win.
smaller. You can call those areas for me. And now we're right back to an ankle submission lock here by Ian
I
Ross.
think Cash Flow needs to get in there and break
He's
this one
turning
up.
it into a cloverleaf
If he gets him over, I think this might be the end.
Yeah, if he locks this in, they're in the middle of the ring.
Cash Flow's getting up. I think he needs to get in there. He needs to get in there. This will be
Cash
over.
can allow the hold to be applied for a couple of seconds. Chris Hero's not going to tap out immediately.
Agreed, but that cloverleaf is...
The cloverleaf's very dangerous hold. You never know when you can snap out a guy's knee with it.
Definitely.
Hero made his way to the ropes before. Oh,
my God.
Vicious uppercut. Cash Flow is down.
Cash Flow is what, 6'5", 6'6"?
He's at least 6'3". He's a hell of a lot taller than me. That's all I know. Oh, my God.
Christ, did you see that
The
clothesline?
Godo clothesline. When you hear your name called and you see Ian Rotten running at you,
I've taken
You're
that
gonna
clothesline
have-
a few times.
I've taken
Oh,
it
Lord.
myself. I've taken it myself, and I still have nightmares to this day.
And here we go. Oh, my
We're in the
God.
we're in the end of November, Paulie Smooth. I took that clothesline on March the 10th, and I still have nightmares to this day about it. I thought it knocked out all my teeth. So I know Cash Flow is in a world of hurt.
If you can knock over a 240-pound man and make his body flip like that on a clothesline, that's a pretty powerful clothesline.
Ian Rotten pulling out all the old school moves. He's done the 2 Dusty Rhodes elbows. He just now delivered a classic woo in the knee drop a la Ric Flair. If it worked for Flair 15 times and it worked for Dusty Rhodes 3 times in winning world titles, why not Ian Rotten tonight?
Well, how many times has Ian held that title?
Countless times. I can't even keep track.
He's faced everyone and anyone that has ever come through the doors of IWA.
You know, and then it would also depend. It would also depend if you count. You know, Ian Rotten was rumored to be the Midnight Rider, and the Midnight Rider held the title a couple of times.
True.
So if you want to go with that rumor as being true, then you can add a couple of title reigns
Here we go.
to the mantelpiece of Ian Rotten. But here we are again with the. It looks like Ian Rotten
under the 2, it seems, and
yeah, but he's the one in control. He's choking out the both of them, pulling them down and choking the life out of them.
Cash
But they're
Flow's throwing
delivering
some
rib
kidney
shots
punches.
to him. Now Cash with a stunner to Hero. Hero falls to the canvas. Ian crawls over and covers Cash. Hero breaks it up.
Smart move on Hero right there. He was able to collect his senses for that moment and break up that
We've got, it feels like we're at least 25 minutes into this contest. I don't know where the timekeeper's at. The ring announcers left. The ring announcers went home. I guess it was past his bedtime. I'm not sure.
I think he went home because he needed to make a little visit after watching.
Yeah, after watching the
bubble bath
match, the ring announcer had to leave. Something about a change of clothes. I'm not sure. But these three men have been pounding on each other a good 25 minutes at least. And here they are exchanging punches just back and
They're
forth.
all starting to feel
one
effects.
right after the other.
Oh my God!
All 3 men are fatigued. All 3 men are down in the ring. We could have a triple knockout here.
Rocky won.
Something tells me that was Rocky 2.
Excuse me, I apologize. Rocky 3 fought
2,
Mr. T.
Kelly. Rocky 3 was with Mr. T.
And appearance by that fag Hulk Hogan.
They re-showed it at the beginning of 3, but it was in part 2.
Shades of Ric Flair.
Once again, a Flair slam off the top rope. Cash Flow going up top.
This might be it, Jim. Oh, he just squeaks out.
Cash
you see the
Flow's up top.
leg drop?
Oh,
my God!
Cash Flow just shit on him off the top, but Ian Rotten's right there to break it up.
I think his lucky stars, Ian was there to make that.
Yeah, the title was
it
won.
was over.
The title was won. No one gets out of the oh shit leg drop.
I've never seen anyone kick out of the oh shit leg drop. Bobby
Cash
Eaton
Flow
has nothing
sent
on
to the
Cash
ring
Flow with that leg
apron.
drop.
Well, Bobby Eaton was a hell of an athlete, one hell of a wrestler, but Cash Flow is a bigger man. Cash Flow is a little bit more athletic. Cash Flow can fly a little bit farther, and Cash Flow's a lot younger.
For a man of his size, it's unbelievable what he can do from that top rope.
We've got a superplex.
Oh my God!
It's a
Cash back to the
superplex.
top. What can we see here?
It's
Yes!
the second oh shit leg drop. The
It's
title's
over. Make the
over.
count.
Once
Oh,
again,
my
Ian Rotten
God.
makes the save. That's twice now that Chris Hero should have been defeated for his title.
I know Ian Rotten's going to be getting a nice Christmas present from Chris Hero.
Chris Hero deserves to give Ian Rotten one hell of a Christmas present for saving that title 2 times for him. Cash Flow robbed now on 2 occasions. Here they are exchanging punches, ducking the punches.
Oh, here it
It's a
comes.
double arm.
Nobody's getting out of this. It's over right
Double
now.
arm
Jim.
DDT.
Get the belt out. It's going to Ian. Nobody kicks out the double arm.
2.
And Chris Hero
with
returns the
save.
favor.
Chris Hero saves his own title that time. What's it going to take to get one man down for the 3 count, the other man down long enough for you to obtain that 3 count?
The Hero's welcome. This
It's
is
a
put away.
Hero's welcome. He
Beautiful.
delivers the Hero's welcome.
Flow does not break
2.
this up.
He kicks
Ian,
out of the
kick
Hero's
out.
welcome.
Come on, Hero.
How many times has anyone kicked out of the Hero's welcome, Paulie
I've never
Smooth?
seen that.
I've never seen it myself either.
Men like Christopher Daniels, Supernova, and that scrub from WCW do that move. Nobody does that better than Chris Hero. Works him back to the corner with some forearm shots. Oh,
Hero. Hero.
Oh my God, could it be a tarantula?
It's the tarantula by Ian Rotten.
We might see him give up here. The power behind Ian Rotten's
What
weight.
is Cash Flow
Oh my
doing?
God, here we come. Holy
Oh, with
shit.
the neck snap. Cash Flow with the
Unbelievable.
Shane Douglas neck snap. Hero
Unbelievable.
within the
Cash needs
tarantula.
to get in there right now.
Listen to the IWA chant. I'm going horse.
Make the
Cash
count.
going for
Get
the
down there.
cover.
Oh
Hero
my God,
sees
he
the
had
bell.
him there.
We've got to be a good 30 minutes in, Paulie Smooth.
Referee John Howard was a second too late on getting down to make that count. I think Cash had him right there.
It was close, but Cash Flow's foot was hanging underneath the rope anyway.
True, I did not
It
notice
probably
that.
shouldn't even have been a one count on it.
You're right there.
But we're a good 30 minutes in, at least.
We see another oh shit coming up here.
Cash going up top again.
Oh, he missed the frog splash.
Misses the frog splash.
And that'll knock the wind right out of you. Another Heroes
And
Welcome.
Rotten hit with his second
He's not
Heroes
gonna be able to
Welcome.
pick out two
1,
of those.
2, 3.
Chris Hero gets the victory.
The winner of your match is still IWA Mid-South Heavyweight Champion, Chris Hero.
And that right there proved why Chris Hero is the IWA champion.
That is correct. Chris Hero.
2 nights ago, he defeated legend Tracy Smothers, and tonight he defeated 2 of IWA's best.
Chris
Wrestling-
Hero withstood oh shit leg drops. He withstood a tarantula. And while in the tarantula, he took a neck snap. I've never seen anything like that in my life, Paulie Smooth.
Amazing.
And yet he's still standing there as your IWA Mid-South Heavyweight
Look at the
Champion.
crowd showing their support for this excellent match, and all 3 wrestlers
As
who gave
they
it their
should.
all.
As they should.
IWA
You just got-
fans are the best fans in the world.
You know, the fans are going to have a hell of a time at the end of this year when it comes time to vote for IWA Match of the Year.
It's going to be a rough decision.
Is it
definitely.
Cabana versus Jerry Lynn from the first anniversary show?
That one will be hard to top.
Is it Jerry Lynn versus Suicide Kid from Simply the Best? Is it BJ Whitmer Reckless Youth from No Blood, No Guts, No Glory?
Last match.
Is it Chris Hero versus the American Kickboxer from
Chris
April
Hero
Blood
showed his
Shower?
heart by taking that powder off the goddamn balcony.
Was it the 8-man tag elimination that went 55 minutes at From Hardcore Hell and Back? Was it the 1 hour Chris Hero Cash Flow match?
Listen, the crowd showing support. I'm telling you what, this match right now is going to get a hell of a lot of votes. It's getting my vote.
That match right there was awesome. You had the hour-long match. You had
Punk
CM
Cabana.
Punk Cabana, 2 out of 3 falls. They're asking for the microphone. Let's let these men, they've earned this. Let's give it to them.
Definitely.
I said it once, I'll say it again. I'm damn proud that you're our heavyweight champion.
You okay?
And I tell you what, I'm going to say this in final world. I want you to look in that camera right up there. You take a good look at this face. Because when the day comes, when they mention the greats of the game, when they mention Flair, when they mention Malenko, when they mention Benoit, they'll mention Hero. Cash Flow, I trained you, and on this day, I'm proud to say, I trained you, and that you, my friend, in the last year, the year 2001, started off with you as the heavyweight champion of IWA, and my friend, my brother, my pal, you have came into your own in the year 2001. I've always said you were the greatest athlete I've ever been in the ring with. Now I'm talking total athletic. I'm talking watching you play ball. I'm talking about the way you move, the way that Too Cold Scorpio wishes he could do a 450 like you.
That is correct. If you've ever seen it, Cash Flow does the 450 3/4 of the way across the ring.
He's 21 years old. You believe that? He is 21 years old.
And in the wrestling business, you don't hit your prime till you're in your about 31.
When I started training you, I beat the shit out of you because I thought you were nothing but a Bullitt County punk.
Au contraire, my frere.
The truth of the matter is, you're the toughest motherfucker that's ever been to 2% that's came out of the Ian Rotten Wrestling Academy. Chris, when these people chant IWA, they're chanting you. Because you wearing that title is the IWA. And brother, we're going to go all around. We're going to your hometown. We're going to Indianapolis. And we're going as you as our heavyweight champion. And we're going to blow them out of the fucking water. Thanks for all the match today.
Once again, they give the standing ovation to these three men. They give the standing ovation to these three men, and it's well-deserved.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you used to have an IWA shirt that says, "We Are Family"? Well, after being here a year and a half, I'm damn proud to say I'm part of the IWA family. Thank you, man. Thank you.
And here's a personal commentary from me. If Vince McMahon doesn't want Chris Hero in the next couple of years, then Vince McMahon's the biggest, dumbest motherfucker that ever is in the wrestling business. Because if Triple H is that damn good, Chris Hero is 50 fucking times that damn better.